Hello students, myself is Parminder Singh from Prab Kirpa classes. Our today's topic is most common mistakes in English grammar. English is being spoken as well as used in writing in many countries of the world. It is an important language. So we should understand what are the common mistakes which we make in the use of English grammar. Whenever we use the English to convey our ideas, views, etc., we should not only use the proper words but also the proper verbs. For example, you may say that I will marry you. If you speak the same in English, the other person will understand what you want to convey. But if you convey the same in writing and say, I will marry you, the other person will understand that either you are not in a position to convey your feelings or you do not know the proper use of English grammar. So it will adversely affect your personality, and also in many cases you will not be able to convey your ideas, views, or feelings. So the use of proper English grammar is very important. Either you are using the same in your personal life or in your business life. If you are saying something about the past, so all the tense or the sentences should be in past. If you say, I went to the market and will purchase a mobile phone, so it is wrong. When you are talking about the past, the word should be in past. So if you say, so you should have said, I went to the market and purchased a mobile phone. We have already uploaded the video on communication skills as well as on present tense, past tense, as well as future tense. You can see the same on our website prabkirpaclasses.com. So now we come to the main topic. Whether you are writing an email or creating a resume, we should always ensure that our writing is correct by avoiding grammar mistakes. If we make grammar mistakes, we will not be able to convey our feelings, views, ideas properly. If we spend some time to edit our words before sending them out, we may find some grammatical errors. First, use of incorrect spellings of a word. When you are saying to someone, please bring a piece of paper, if you use the word this piece, it is wrong. The exact word is piece, Piece. Then there is a word vacuum. We may confuse whether this vacuum is correct or this word is correct. Her death left a vacuum in his life. The exact word is vacuum, VACWM. In the same way, the vacuum cleaner has various attachments. So always use the proper words when you want to convey something. Here both these words are correct. This is wrong. Now we come to the next. Sometimes we make mistake in use of apostrophe. Apostrophe is what? This is the apostrophe. My uncle's house is next to his house. Here we want to convey that the house of our uncle. So apostrophe is to be used. Uncle apostrophe S is next to his house. Here we are not to use apostrophe. Now here we want to say he is my brother. Here we are using contraction of the word he is. We are saying it as, writing it as he is. Apostrophe S, he is my brother. They are going there. We are not to write this. We are to write apostrophe of they are. They are is written as they are. It is the short form of contraction of they are. They are going there. Then there may be sentence fragments. That is, we are conveying something and it will not be complete sentence if we do not mention the next sentence properly. He did not go to school yesterday because he was sick. In the next line, we are clarifying why he did not go to school yesterday. So, he did not go to school yesterday. We are not to use full stop after writing this word. We are to write complete sentence in one way. So, because is to be written as because in B will be small word. Next, lack of subject verb agreement. When we compose a sentence, the verb must agree or match with the subject. Now you will see these recipes. Recipes is a plural. Here we have used is. In case of plural, we have to use are. These recipes are good for beginning chefs. If the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural as well. As already told, we have already uploaded the video on present, past and future. In that videos, we have already clarified where we are to use is, where we are to use am, are, will, shall, has, had, and all that verbs. Next, the old chair that my parents gave us needs a coat of paint. Here, needs has been related with this word. If we do not write this, suppose if we ignore this thing, the old chair needs replacement, needs a coat of paint. It is for clarification only. So here we are not to write need, we are to write needs. This is the subject and the verb is need. We have to take this subject into consideration while making use of the verb. The college president or trustees interview all the candidates. Here you will see that this is the verb, and here the subject is this one, the trustees. So we are not to write interviews. We have to take into consideration this is plural. So we will write interview. In the next line, the trustees or the president. President is singular. So here we have used interviews. Next, John or Michael. Here you will see either he or either he. That is, this is the singular. Either he has the responsibility or Michael has the responsibility. So it is plural. So we will not use the word have. We will use word has. John or Michael has the responsibility to make video presentation. Next, your passion and devotion to my company have inspired many. Sometimes we may get confused whether passion and devotion are to be taken as a singular or they are plural. If you write, your passion has inspired many, you can also say, your devotion to my company has inspired many. That is, this sentence can be divided into two sentences and the meaning will be proper. So, while we are writing this sentence, your passion and devotion, we have to take this passion and devotion as plural, or and then we will use word have. Your passion and devotion to my company have inspired many. Next, सरसों का साग and मक्की की रोटी is Harnaj Sandhu's favorite dish. Harnaj Sandhu, who is Harnaj Sandhu? Harnaj Sandhu has been selected as Miss Universe very recently. His favorite dish is sarson ka saag and makki ki roti. You can find out the same for the same on Google. This is the one dish, sarson ka saag and makki ki roti. You cannot divide one dish into two parts. So when we are talking about a specific dish, we are not to use are, we are not to take this as plural कि सरसों का साग is different and मक्की की रोटी is different. This is a one dish. So in respect of one dish, we will take it as singular and will use the word is. Sometimes modifiers or words are not properly placed. What we want to convey in writing, the same must be very simple and clear. Modifier is a word or phrase that limits or adds to the meaning of another word or phrase. The modifier should clearly refer to a specific word in a sentence. When our word is misplaced or modifier is misplaced, it will create a confusion as well as ambiguity. Suppose I say, running up and down the stairs swiftly exhausted me. It means two things. It may mean I was running up and down the stairs very fast, swiftly, and because of running and up and down swiftly, it exhausted me. Or it may also mean I was running up and down the stairs and it swiftly exhausted me because I was running up and coming down the stairs, so I got exhausted very soon. So you should use the modifier before action. Correct word will be swiftly running up and down. As I was running up and down the stairs very fast, swiftly running up and fast down the stairs exhausted me. If I say, I drank a hot mug of coffee, it may mean that the mug was hot and not the tea. So the correct word should be, I drank a mug of hot tea. We should use the word hot before tea and not before mug. If we say, Ria only wants salad is different. If we say only Ria wants salad, it means different. In the first case, only Ria only wants salad. There may be a gathering in your house and only Ria wants salad. Ria will not eat any other thing. But there may be a gathering in which other persons may not like salad. They may not ask for the same. And here we will see right as only Ria wants salad. So we should know what to use and where to use. Where we should use the proper word. Only has to be written here or here has to be written here. We should write the same as per the demand of the situation. Next, at 10 years old, my mother gave me this pencil. This sentence is not proper. It is not able to convey what it wants to say properly. Whether we are using 10 years old for the mother, in reality, the sentence has been written to convey that when I was 10 years old. So we should correctly write it as, when I was 10 years old, my mother gave me this pen. Sometimes there is mistake in pronoun. Pronoun takes the place of a noun in a sentence. First of all, we should know what is the meaning of noun. A noun is a word that refers to a thing. Thing may be a table, car, apple, or book. A noun may also refer to a person, that is man, woman, or it may be the name of a person, Jaggi, Vasudev, John, etc. A noun may be an animal. The animal may be cat, elephant, dog. A noun may be a place. The place may be a home, office. It may be the name of a city or state or a country. Pronoun errors are common in English. If the noun is singular, the pronoun must be singular. If the noun is plural, the pronoun must be plural as well. If we say every boy must bring their own book, here you will observe that every boy is a noun. It is a singular person, every boy. But here we have used the word there. So in place of there, we should use the verb a pronoun his. Every boy must bring his own book. If here it is written every girl must bring, then we will write every girl must bring her own book. Next, after the goalkeeper and the striker collided, he had to go to the hospital. It is not clear in this sentence whether the goalkeeper was moved to the hospital or the striker was moved to the hospital. So we will clarify. After the goalkeeper and striker collided, goalkeeper had to go to the hospital. We will have to clarify either striker or goalkeeper. We have clarified that he was goalkeeper who was admitted in the hospital. If we say when Ankit and Joy were staying at the hotel, he used social media to share pictures. When both these two persons were staying at the hotel, it is not clear who shared the pictures through the media, who used the social media. So we must clarify whether we are talking about Ankit or Joy, because he can be used for both Ankit and Joy. So we will have to clarify when Ankit and Joy were staying at the hotel, we will write it as Ankit used social media or Joy used social media. We should clarify the same. Next, Henry and John were planning what they wanted to eat for dinner that evening. Here they are collectively planning. So we are using the word they as pronoun. Are you talking to himself? Here it is not proper. A person, here we want to convey that whether you are talking to yourself. So the proper word will be yourself. You, yourself. Next, sometimes we make comparison with another person, another thing, but the comparison is incomplete. We must clarify to which we are making comparison. Such type of grammatical errors may appear in advertisements or slogans. If we say, my hair is smoother and softer, we have not clarified with which we are making comparison. We should make comparison such like this. My hair is smoother and softer than it was a month ago. If we say, my son is smarter than whom, we have not made the comparison of our son with anyone. So this sentence is wrong. Here the comparison is incomplete. We should write it as my son is smarter than all of his classmates. We are making comparison with his classmates. Sometimes there is mixing up of possession and plural. If we add an apostrophe and s, it shows the ownership or possession. For example, this computer's processing speed is very fast. Here we are talking about the processing speed of the computer. So we have used the apostrophe after computer and added s. In many cases, when we add s to a word, it becomes plural. If we say there are 5 computers, we have added s to the computer and it has become plural. So sometimes we may use apostrophe before s to represent contraction. For example, he is the short form of he is. Sometimes there is confusion when we make use of the word fewer or less. We should understand that we should use the word less before uncountable nouns. That is, the nouns which cannot be counted, and they are always singular. Examples of uncountable nouns are milk, love, happiness. We cannot count happiness or love. Though we can quantify or measure milk, but we cannot count milk on tips. We cannot count rice, though we can measure the same in kilograms, but we cannot count the number of individual rice particles, sugar, water, electricity, gas. Examples of where we should use less are he should drink less milk, less pollution is better for the environment, there is less traffic and less pollution. These are uncountable nouns which cannot be counted. We cannot count the pollution on our fingers. We cannot count milk. Fewer is used before countable and plural nouns. Anything that can't be counted is a countable noun. For example, a dog, a house, a friend, a car, an orange, a banana, an apple, an elephant, a candle. Where we should use fewer examples are we have fewer grocery stores and clinics in our town. He should drink fewer glasses of milk. We should also know that it is customary to use less with distance, money, time, weight, and statistical figures. That is where we are talking about distance, money, time, weight, or statistical figures. We will use the word less. For example, less than 3 miles, less than $30. Here we are talking about money. Less than 5 years. Here we are talking about time. Less than 5 ounces. We are talking about weight. Less than 20,000 people. This is the statistical figures. Your versus your. We must understand where we should use the word your and where we should use you are. Your shows possession, whereas you are is the short form of you are. Example of your is what is your name? Your birthday is coming soon. Examples of you are you are very beautiful. I think you are the perfect match for the job. Sometimes some people use that is and for example interchangeably. Both these terms are different. We should not mix the same. Each term means different, i.e., that is means in other words. That is used to clarify something. E.g. means example given or for example. E dot G dot is used to add color to a story. For example, if I say I am a vegan, that is I do not eat any animal based products. Here we are clarifying the word vegan. Next, all the employees will receive the standard discount, that is 20%. Here we are clarifying the extent of discount which will be given to all the employees. In case of, for example, I do not like Japanese food, for example, ramen. Here we are giving the example of a Japanese food which we do not like. Next, there may be some mistakes in writing numbers. Numbers are generally written out if they are one or two words, or expressed in figures if they are three words or more. It is important to be consistent with either words or figures. We should write the words in figures or in words. Here you can see that the same has been written in either figures or words. Here you will see that all these figures have been written in figures, all these words. So we should be consistent either with the figures or with the words. Here you will see 67,500, 67,500. Either you can write the same as 67,000 properly, or you should write the same in figures properly or in words. Next, use correct verb for the entire correspondence. Sometimes we do make mistake in while we write a sentence. For example, we went to the market, we will purchase a mobile phone. We are talking about the past. So the correct will be, we went to the market, we purchased a mobile phone, or we went to the market and purchased a mobile phone. So we have to make use of the verb as it has been used in the first tense, past of the tense. Sometimes we use unnecessary commas when we are writing a sentence. We may not need them. For example, Rihanna and Amin went to bazaar yesterday to purchase a television. Here you will see we have added commas after Amin and after yesterday. There is no need of the same. The correct word will sentence will be Rihanna and Amin went to bazaar yesterday to purchase a television. There is no need of any comma. Rihanna and Amin went to bazaar yesterday is an independent class. It can stand alone. That is, if you write the word a sentence only up to yesterday, it will be proper. It is an independent class. Here, to is a proposition that starts a subordinate class. This is a subordinate class, meaning a class that cannot stand alone as a sentence but adds more information to an independent class. So there is no need to add comma in such type of sentences. Next, no clear antecedent. An antecedent is a word that comes before a noun and helps the reader to understand what the pronoun means. Normally, we can clear this confusion by rearranging the words. For example, she found the toy and she was happy. So correct will be, she was happy when she found the toy. Sometimes we end the sentence in a proposition. A proposition indicates that another word will follow it. In casual conversation, when we are really talking to someone, this type of error is common. That is, we may end our sentence in preposition when we are talking with someone verbally. But we should avoid this type of mistake when we are conveying our ideas, views in written communication. Incorrect. What reason did he go there for? For is a preposition. We should not end the sentence with preposition. Correct will be, for what reason did he go there? Where is my pen at? At is a preposition. Correct sentence is, where is my pen? There is no need of the preposition at. There are hundreds of prepositions in English grammar. Prepositions show the relationship of a noun or a pronoun to another word. Examples of prepositions are in, on, at, above, for, from, up, with, etc. Prepositions must always be followed by a noun or pronoun. For example, the bone was for the dog. I swim in the lake. Lake. 17th, very long sentences. Sometimes when we are talking or writing something, we use very long sentences. It will be proper if we use short sentences which convey our feelings or ideas in a proper manner. Long sentences may confuse the reader. If you find a very long sentence, we should always try to eliminate some words or breaking the long sentence into some small sentences. We can also replace wordy phrases with single words. Single word. Simplify your sentence. For example, it is hard to find a good job at the present time. In place of at the present time, we can use the word now. It is hard to find a good job now. In place of at the present time, we have used the word now. He wears a watch which is made of gold. Revised sentence which will be proper is he wears a gold watch. Next, sometimes we get confused whether we should use the word well or good in a sentence. Generally, well is an adverb, good is an adjective. Good as an adjective is used to describe something that is better than average. He is a good writer, that is above average. He is better than average person, average writer. He speaks good English. You did a good job, that is better than average person. The food tastes good. Do not use good with action verbs. He is doing good in English. This is incorrect. Do is a action. He, so the correct verb, correct sentence will be he is doing well in English. When we are talking about health, always use the word well. The word well may also mean thoroughly or to a great extent. Examples are I do not feel well today. I hope all is well at home. The students performed well today. We know each other well. If someone is asking about your physical health, then we should use the word well in case of physical health. For example, I do not feel well today. If someone is asking about your emotional state, emotions, then an example may be I feel good. Sometimes we may get confused where to use peak or peak. We may make mistake. These words when we speak are exactly some like the same, but these words have different meanings. Let us discuss one by one. Peak has two letters of the same word E, just like the word I. In case of peak, there are two E's. In case of I, there are also two E's. This can remind you that peak is something you do with your eyes. That is, this word has some relation with your eyes. Peek means to look at something quickly or in a secretive manner. For example, I took a peek at the list. That is, I go through the list very quickly or in a very secretive manner. Then peak, P-E-A-K. Peak means at the highest level, at the point of highest achievement, or the pointed top of a mountain, etc. Most athletes reach their peak. Here, peak means at highest achievement. Most athletes reach their peak in their mid 20s. Traffic reaches its peak. Here, peak means at the highest level. Reaches its peak between 8 and 9 in the morning. Next, it is very difficult to reach the peak of Mount Everest. Here, peak means pointed top of a mountain. Next, this peak means to hurt the feelings, to irritate, annoy, or to cause curiosity or interest. It picked her when no one invited her to party. That is, it hurted her feelings or irritated her. Publishers use book blurbs to pick the curiosity of readers. That is, to create the interest of the readers, they use book blurbs. That is the some short story about what the book is about. As you will see in movies, you see some short form. I heard something that piqued my interest. Here it means to arouse curiosity. Who versus that? Who should be used when we are referring to people, when we are talking about people? That may refer to people, animals, objects, or things. But the word who is preferred when referring to people. That is, when we are talking about people, we should use the word who, preferably. Do not use that for people in formal writing. Formal means business communication or for writing purpose. He is a person who likes ice cream. God helps those who help themselves. That is used for things, animals, objects. Her computer is the one that overheats all the time. I want a car that accelerates quickly. Now we must also understand the difference between a lot or a lot. Though in speaking both the words resemble the same, there is difference in their meaning as well as in spellings. A lot means in a large quantity of a something. Thanks a lot for the drink. The farmer grows a lot of paddy. A lot means to give some share of something for a particular purpose. For example, each student was allotted 2 minutes to ask the question. Each Indian was allotted a parcel of land. Sometimes we may get confused whether we are to use the word who or we are to use whom. Sometimes we may also get confused in whose or who is. So let us understand each and every term one by one. Who is used to refer to the subject of a sentence. For example, who ate all the apples? Who left the door open? If you can replace the word with he or she, I or they, we should use the word who. For example, he ate, if the answer is he ate all the apples, they ate all the apples, he left the door open, I left the door open, then in that case, we are to use the word who. But if you can replace it with him, her, me, or them, we are to use the word whom. Whom replaces the object of the sentence. Who, whom, let us see whom. Whom is usually used to describe someone who is receiving something. To whom was the letter addressed? The letter was addressed to him or her, or the letter was addressed to me, or the letter was addressed to them. Whom can also be used to describe someone on the receiving end of an action. Whom did we hire to join the marketing team? We hired him or her or them. We hired them to join the marketing team. Whose is used to assign ownership to someone. Whose pen is that? That is, who is the owner of this pen? Who is the contraction of who is or who has. Who is driving that car? Who has won the match? As there may be problem if we use the word who is, as it may mean who is or who has. So it is suggested that we should write not in contraction but properly, so that the other person who may not be well conversant with the rules, for example, if you write who is driving the car, the other person may think who has driving the car, but actually you are saying who is. So if you deem fit, you may write properly who is properly or who has won the match. The rest, it is your choice. Then into versus into. into. It is right, has been written uh, collectively, indicates there is some sort of motion or action. For example, he came into the room. The agreement goes into effect from on December 1. Into is used in a lot of situations. When in is a part of the verb phrase, then you should keep in and to as two separate words. The administrator did not give in to the demands of the protesters. She came in to warm her hands and feet. The lifeguard jumped in to save the boy from drowning. So we must understand where we are to use into or where we should use in to. There is also a difference between the word lose or lose. Though in speaking, both these words may resemble the same, but both these words have different meanings. Loss means to fail to win or misplace. For example, do not lose your bag. Scandals have Scandals cause politicians to lose votes. Lose means to not tight. She is wearing a loose dress. One of the screws is loose. Then there may be problem whether we are to use the word then or then. Though in speaking both these words resemble the same, both these words have quite different meanings. Then is used to indicate comparison. Actions speak louder than words. Nothing is more important than health. This word is, this flower is more beautiful than any other flower in this garden. Here then is used to make comparisons. He is taller than I am. Then THEN means at that time or after that. We were in the same class then. I was in USA then, at that time. First think and then speak. That is first think and speak after that. Sometimes we have to make use of the introductory commas at the beginning of a sentence. For example, in the beginning, here it is introductory comma. I had no idea how to write a letter. In those days, this is introductory comma. It was common to write letters. The other day, I met an old friend. Next, sometimes we use words like shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda sounds like a shortened version of should have. Coulda means short version of could have. For example, I should have taken a shorter route. So instead of saying shoulda, woulda, coulda, we should preferably say should have, would have, could have, and should not use the words shoulda, coulda, woulda. Possessive nouns. In most cases, a possessive noun is formed by adding an apostrophe plus s to the noun. But where to put that apostrophe can be confusing. We may follow some general rules in this regard. To make plural noun ending in s possessive, add an apostrophe. For example, the dog's bones. Dogs are plurals. Here, to make it possessive, we can use apostrophe. The bones relate to dogs. The dogs are in plural. Here, we will not write apostrophe s. We will simply add apostrophe. To make singular noun ending in s possessive, that is, we are to make a noun possessive which is singular, we have to only add apostrophe. Here s is already there. Dress is singular. It may be a person's dress, it may be my dress, it may be your dress. Dress blue color. That is the color of the dress is blue. So here we have not written S after apostrophe. We have simply added apostrophe. Stephen Jones car. Stephen Jones is the name of a single person. But as it ends with S, name ends with S, we have simply added apostrophe to make it possessive noun. To make plural noun not ending in S possessive, add an apostrophe plus S. Here you will see children is a plural noun. Child, children. That is more than one children. Here, when we want to make this noun possessive, we are adding apostrophe S as the noun does not end in S. Next, to make singular noun not ending with S possessive, add an apostrophe plus S. Joseph's shoes. Next, missing comma in a compound sentence. A compound sentence expresses two complete and related ideas, and it usually includes a conjunction to connect these two parts. There should be a comma before the conjunction to indicate that the two ideas are related. And but, or, and, or are the most common coordinating conjunctions. Ankit went to bazaar and Riya went with him. Here we are to use comma. Next, mixing up spellings. There are some words that sound the same but have different spellings, different meanings. If we mix up these spellings, it can be a humiliating mistake. For example, if we say it is too hot today, whether we should use the word TO or TOO. Let us see. To is one of the most common words in English. It has a variety of functions. To refers to a destination, recipient, action. It can also be used for identifying relationships. He went to the garden. Garden is the destination. I sent an email to Ramesh. Ramesh is recipient. I am going to get a cup of tea. Here action is involved. Tracy is married to Joy. This is relationship. To means also or as well. Or in addition, or it may also mean excessively. It is too hot outside. That is, it is excessively hot outside. She too is a vegetarian. She too is vegetarian. Here too means also. She also is a vegetarian. I carried my suitcase and a briefcase too. Here too means in addition or as well. When we are talking about TWO2, it means when that is we are counting something 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 2 days to fix this problem. I have 2 cars. Sometimes when we use the word weather, it may be resemble the same by when we are speaking the same word. Weather is too hot, weather is too good. But when we write the same, we may get confused whether we are to use this weather or this weather. Let us understand the same. Whether means expressing a doubt or choice between alternatives. I do not know whether to go out or stay at home. He does not know whether his friend is there or not. I have not decided whether to go or stay. Whether we will succeed or fail, we must try. This weather, WEATHER, means the state of the atmosphere at a particular place and time as regards heat, cloudiness, dryness, sunshine, wind, rain, etc. That is the atmosphere at a particular place. For example, we are expecting a bad weather. That is, the atmosphere may be bad. The weather is lovely, beautiful. There was a sudden change in the weather, in the atmosphere. We must also understand the difference between there and there. These two words are easily mixed up. There is a pronoun which shows possession. This there indicates a place. Let us see example. Their father went to the shop. Here, this word is wrong. There has to be written as this. Their father went to the shop. Their car was destroyed in the accident. Examples of there are many books on the table. There is an elephant in the zoo. Sometimes we mix up the similar words. When we speak the same, they sound similar. But when we write the same, they have different spellings, they have different meanings. Let us discuss the one few of them. Affect versus effect. Affect. Affect is usually a verb and means to influence or produce a change in something. The medicine will affect your headache for at least an hour. The cyclone has affected lakhs of people. Effect is which is starts with e is not to be used as a verb the way effect is used. Effect is usually a noun. It means consequence or outcome. When you are talking about the change itself, we will use the word effect. The timely rain had a good effect on his field. The effects of cyclone were devastating. You will also see that there is difference between further versus farther. There is difference of only two alphabets, U or A. But both these words have quite different meanings. Farther is used more to refer to physical or defined distances. For example, Mumbai is farther away from New Delhi, which is farther from here, USA or Canada. We had to walk farther than the map indicated. Further. Further means to a great degree or extent. It may be used to mean additionally. Further is also used in business letters to refer to an earlier letter, email, meeting, etc. For example, please contact our agent in France for further information. We need to look back further into the past to find the cause of these problems. The family plunged further into debt that year. Further to my email dated 12th December 2021, I would like you to inform you of many recent developments. Then we must also understand the difference between accept versus accept. Both these words sound similar, but they have quite different meanings. Accept means to agree or approve of something. On the other side, accept means to exclude or leave out something. Example of accept is a majority of the scientists have accepted the theory. When John asked Ria to marry him, she happily agreed. Examples of accept are our boss has blamed everyone except himself for the losses this quarter. The restaurant is open daily except Mondays. That is, the restaurant is not open on any Monday. Then there is difference between assure, insure, and insure. These all these words have different meanings. Let us see. To assure means to promise or say some with confidence. We can assure you of our full support. To ensure, ensure means to make certain. This machine is designed to ensure higher production. Next, ensure, I. Ensure means to protect against risk by payment of insurance premium to an insurance company. I insure my car because the law requires it. There is also sometimes confusion whether we should use the word me or I in a particular situation. So I is always used as a subject, me is always used as an object. I play cricket, he went to lunch, I went to lunch, she went to theater, I went to theater, you and I went to cinema. The examples of me, this pen is for me, here me is object. He told me to go away. He congratulated me. We will not say he congratulated I. He congratulated me. Me is the object. In place of object, we have to use me. If we say when the report is ready, please send it to Alice and I, not I. You will never ask someone to send the report to I. You will always say, you should always say me. Correct is when the report is ready, please send it to Alice and me. Commas for a series. When listing a series of things in a sentence, you need to separate the list by items by commas. We sell bread, milk, ghee, and paneer. The last comma, this comma, is optional. This is called Oxford comma. Oxford comma is the final comma in the list of three or more things in a sentence. That is, if there are four commas or three commas in a sentence, the last one will be called Oxford comma. It is better to use Oxford comma if you are writing an essay for school or writing something that will be published and read by others. For example, I bought a pen, eraser, stapler. Here you will use Oxford comma and notebook from the shop. Using Oxford comma in most cases results in clarity of the sentence. In many countries, Oxford comma is not used. But if we want to clarify a sentence, the same may be required in a particular situation. Omitting the Oxford comma sometimes can cause confusion or misunderstanding. How it happens? Let us see. For example, I love my parents. Suppose this is the name of your parents, Nicholas and Rosie. If it is this situation, then okay. But if parents are different and Nicholas and Rosie are the other persons, then it may create a problem. Without Oxford comma, the sentence above could be interpreted as stating that you love your parents and the names of your parents are Nicholas and Rosie. But if Nicholas and Rosie are not your parents, the whole sentences may cause confusion. So we should use Oxford comma in such type situations. I love my parents, Nicholas and Rosie. Here, this is Oxford comma. It clarifies the situation that Nicholas and Rosie are other persons. They are not your parents. You love not only your parents but also Nicholas and Rosie. Sometimes there may be confusion whether we should use the word complement with I or complement with E. These two words, though in pronunciation, resemble the same, but both these two words have different meanings. We should understand the same. First, compliment with I means praise. Compliment is when someone gives you a positive comment. For example, the compliment brought a blush to her face. She complimented him on his new suit. Compliment your children often and they will rise to the occasion. Now we come to the complement with E. Complement is a thing which completes another thing or fills up the lacking. This shirt is a perfect complement for those pants. This cheese complements the red wine nicely. Next, between versus among. The word between is usually used to refer to two things that are clearly separated. Sometimes between is used to refer to more than two things as long as all the things are separate and distinct. For example, there was a contract between the landlord and the tenant. Both these persons are different and distinct. There was a new trade agreement between Australia, Canada, and France. All these countries are separate and distinct entities, countries. I cannot decide between pink, blue, or red shirt. On the other side, the word among is used to talk about people, things that are not clearly separated and are viewed as a group. The old temple is hidden among the trees. The trees is a group of trees. So here we have used the word among. The property was divided equally among the heirs. Next, now we come where we should use semicolon and where we should use colon. Semicolon is this and colon is written as this. Semicolon is used to connect two independent clauses that are closely related. For example, I spoke to James, he cannot come today. I drink tea, Alicia drink coffee. I am tired, I want to sleep. If there is a coordinating conjunction between the two classes and or use a comma instead, that is, if we say I am tired and I want to sleep, here you should not use semicolon, here you should use comma. Next, colon. A colon is used to begin a list of things or state an idea. For example, I went to the shop and purchased sundries. Here is the list: salt, sugar, a bar of soap. He wanted to see three cities in India. Here is the list. You have added colon Chandigarh, Jaipur, and Bangalore. We have 2 points options here. This is the colon. List is given. Fight or run like the wind. We have three types of muscles in our body: smooth, skeletal, and cardiac. Capitalization errors. Sometimes some words need to be capitalized every time they are used. Always capitalize the pronoun I and proper nouns, that is the names of people, organizations, days of the week, months of the year, holidays, countries, cities, that is the names of all these countries, cities, states, historical events, titles, all need to be written in capital word. First word should always be, first alphabet should always be in capital. Title when they appear before the name. If a title of any post appears before the name, the said title should be in capital words. For example, Major Dhyanchand, M has been written in capital words. When we talk about historical events and time periods, for example, American Revolution, here A and R are in capital words. Colonialism, this is a time period. World War II, this is also in capital words. Name of the countries: India, I will be in capital. France, F will is in capital. Joe Biden, J and B are in capital words. Summary. Using correct grammar means effective communication. If we understand the most common grammar mistakes, it will help us a lot in improving our writing as well as our communication skills. We will be able to communicate to the other what we want to say, and the other will always be in a position to understand what you want to say. If you say the if you write anything with proper noun pronoun, and you do not make any mistake in writing in the use of English grammar, it will also enhance your image or your personality in the eyes of the other person, and the meaning of what you have written will not be misinterpreted. I hope I have been able to clarify most of the grammar mistakes which we often make in the use of English grammar. I hope you will try to improve if there has been any mistake or if there was any confusion in the use of English grammar. If you like our video, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you.